Welcome to Dialogues of Desire,
Non-monogamy unscripted.
the podcast where we're rewriting the rules of relationships.
So grab your intimacy and exploration passports and join us from the very beginning
As we embark on an unscripted, unfiltered journey
into the world of non-monogamy.
Welcome back. This is Dialogues of Desire.
Non-monogamy unscripted.
I'm Brit.
And I'm Sophie. And today we're talking a little bit more about boundaries. We've got Brit in the hot seat today.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling?
Nervous because I don't know what you're going to ask, but I guess as we're getting closer to me being pretty okay mentally for you to get back on the dating scene, a few things have arisen.
Yes.
And yeah, we thought we would have this conversation with you guys as well.
Yeah, I just mentioned something the other day and I think you're a little bit taken aback. So I thought, well, let's have a conversation about it.
Mm-hmm.
So today we're going to be talking a bit more about boundaries as it comes to me actually dating and going on dates and how we navigate those conversations before the, nitty-gritty stuff happens. All right.
Shoot.
Question 1. So the other day I mentioned going on a date and I think you were a bit like, whoa.
I think it was the way you said it, but
Oh,
yeah.
how did I say it?
So I'm going to go on a date or something. It was just like a bit like, and because I think we'd had like a little bit of a, not an argument per se, but
No, I've learnt not to mention things like that
when we're not at a
good
Yeah.
spot.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah, it made my heart drop a little bit or my belly gut. But no, I want you to get out there and
Well, because, you do say, get out there. I want you to get out there. I want you to get some fucked.
yeah, I want you to go and live your life truthfully and authentically you. And that means you being non-monogamous. And at the moment, I feel fine about it. Like I want to see what it brings up, I guess, and how we can navigate that as well.
Yeah, because we can talk all we want in theory, but...
Yeah, and I guess I've been listening to podcasts and, reading Polysecure and seeing other poly podcasts on their reels on Instagram, and the way they explain their relationship is just amazing, and I think we can have that as well.
Yeah.
And so I'm not afraid or scared of what... Like, there's going to be challenges and stuff that comes with this, but I'm actually excited to see how it grows our relationship for the better.
Yeah, I agree. And I totally understand that it's still going to bring stuff up. And it brings stuff up for me as well. So maybe that's why when I mention it, I'm trying to be like, chill about it. So it's like, not a big deal. But obviously it is a big deal. And it's hard to navigate that. So that's why we have these questions. So, first one. When do you feel it would be ideal for me to tell you I'm interested in someone new or planning to go on a date?
As soon as you are aware of it.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're like just being like, look, I'm on the dates, I'm on like the apps and stuff, chatting to people, but as soon as you're like, you know what, like Brit, like I'm actually talking to someone and I think I like them. And then as soon as you know that, or as soon as you've like worked out a date, like being like, hey, is it okay if well, not okay, but like I'm planning on going on a date on Thursday. We don't have anything on or anything, do we?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, yeah, go for it. And I think I would want to know earlier so that, say it is Thursday or whatever, so I can plan my night and make sure that I'm either catching up with a mate or planning to be like, great,
Just do
there's
something.
a movie that I want to watch that I know you don't want to watch, so I'm going to eat my best favourite food and watch this movie and feel awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's really important not to be sprung up on, especially in the beginning, because I'd like you to feel good when I'm not here.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the more notice as well, like exactly, don't spring it on me being like, hey, I'm going out tonight, and I'm like, oh, especially at the start.
Yeah, I agree.
I just need a little bit of time, couple of days, not too many, but
Yeah, true. It's a very fine line. Yeah, you don't want to think about it too much. But
yeah, exactly.
and I think it will get easier as time goes on, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But yeah, sorry, I'm just looking down because this kind of ties into, do you prefer updates at a particular time? So, well, you've kind of answered it, before or after a date, or would you rather get things like get information as things develop?
As things develop, I think,
Yeah.
at the moment.
But you
yeah.
don't want to know after the date.
I wouldn't want to know after the date that you've been on a date.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
like
of
to know
course.
that you've gone on a date
Mm.
so that also you're safe.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Um,
Yeah. I think that's why I've not been on dates recently, which maybe we'll talk about in another podcast. But just like as you get older, or as I've gotten older, like you just get more scared to go on dates, and you don't know who you're meeting, and then
you hear all those stories
yes,
and
yes,
personal experiences and stuff.
my recent personal experiences with other stuff, it's just brought up a lot. So it's been a bit like, it's way too much mental load and anxiety thinking about going on dates with people I don't know.
Yeah.
If I haven't met them prior, like I'd prefer to meet people in person. Sometimes that doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Note taken. I guess this is kind of similar. How much notice do you like before I spend some time with someone else? And does this depend on the type of interaction? So like a coffee date versus a sleepover, which that's a big question. All right, coffee date versus maybe just having sex with someone, but a coffee date can end in that. So
Yeah.
you just want to know interactions, right?
Yeah. Like you don't have to be like, I'm going to get coffee with so and so. You can just be like, look, I'm going on a date. I don't know. I don't need to know the specifics of what you're drinking or what you're eating at that time or whether whatnot. If it did end in sex and then you're coming home, like I would kind of want to know that. At the moment, anyway, I would like to know. And yeah, like just so that I know my boundaries are also being placed as well, knowing that, well, I would like you to have a shower afterwards. I think I would like that to be here. Like you can have one at their place as well, but just so that I'm also witnessing it.
Oh, trust me there.
I know, but I think for my psychological
Yeah.
need, I can be like, okay, yeah, I can hear that I can hear the
Washing
shower on.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'd rather just have a shower at home anyway. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think sleepovers at this stage, well, we're not getting to that point of if I'm not dating, like if I'm actually dating somebody, that's potentially going to happen.
Yeah, and I think by that time when you're dating somebody in that capacity to sleep over,
We'll be having other conversations.
oh, absolutely. And who knows how I might interact with that person as well. Like I really liked that guy who was saying that it allowed him to, he knew his wife's other partner. They weren't involved or anything, but he was like, he wasn't a great solo partner in the sense that he wasn't able to give so the emotional needs of their partner, you know, and so it allowed him to have his own life, focus on his work or his career, and then also have a relationship.
Yeah, so he wasn't.
She wasn't missing out on different aspects, you know.
If she needed more or something different or different things at different times.
Yeah.
As we say, not one person can fulfill all your needs necessarily.
Yeah, exactly.
And
or be there at different times when you might need.
Yeah, that's right. You can't just rely on other people to be to fulfill everything. But if there are other people around, just like your friends might be.
Exactly.
Yeah, cool. Would it help to have a check-in plan, like a message or a call before and after the date? I think that's pretty.
I would like that, or just to also know that you're safe. Because
I agree.
especially for the first couple of dates, and if you don't know who they are, even when you do know who they are, kind of thing, I would want to know that you're safe, you're okay, and nothing has happened to you. Just like for instance, like Mum, who's camping, messaged me this morning to be like, survive the night.
Yeah, I
kind of
think
thing,
that's
you know?
important. We've watched way too many true crimes.
Oh, we love true crime, so it's a bit,
It's so bad.
yeah.
It's great for awareness, but also not good for...
Yeah, you can't become over aware.
Point taken.
Yeah.
Cool. So this question's about managing anxieties during that time, this time. And don't think that I'm not anxious as well. I get very
No, I know
anxious.
you do. Yeah.
What can I do before and after meeting up with someone that helps you feel secure and grounded?
I think like what we've been doing, having open chats, but being transparent with me, so that I don't have to guess what's going on. You're being open and forthcoming of that. Yeah, that's really made me feel pretty secure in this relationship, the way you do that. And I guess something that I'm really focusing on is not reacting and just responding. So yes, emotion will come up for both of us, and I guess being patient and being able to respond to what's going on and how we're feeling, and kind of take a look as to why I might be feeling this, or me being, hey, so like I'm feeling a bit anxious, I'm not sure, and you just maybe sitting there with me and reassuring me that you are here and whatnot, and making sure that obviously you want to have quality time with this person and that person, but also making sure that we have quality time together.
Absolutely. Can I just go deeper into that question and say, like, tangible stuff that I can do after I come back from something?
I probably will ask a few questions because I might want to know some things that might have happened. How was it? Was it good, the chat?
I'm getting emotional because it is, I don't, I want you to be okay.
I am okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And we will only find out after you go on some dates and stuff how our relationship will be. Yeah. And I think we'll be able to work through this.
Yeah.
And I guess that question's for me, like, what can you do for me? And I think, like, I would want to know a little bit about your date and make sure, like, and be happy for you for going on those and having a good date, and you know, and what you might have done. There might be sometimes where I am excited and happy for you, but then I might need my own space as well, and I don't want you to be offended or hurt. But also, what can I do for you?
That's a good question. I would like for you to be just open with me if you can. I'll probably come back with some mixed feelings and some anxieties, I think.
Yeah.
I'd like you to tell me if I'm saying too much, or if I can deliver things a different way, or if you're feeling like if you want some space, can you just tell me rather than being passive aggressive? Not that you are. I think I'm a bit more like, I internalize things and it can come out a bit, shit sometimes. I think I'm trying to, work it out in my head, and that's okay if you are as well.
Yeah.
But just let me know so I'm not, because I do pick up on energies.
I know.
And that can be really hard sometimes, especially when sometimes you might not even know what
sometimes
it is.
I don't even know my energy's shifted at times.
Yeah. And also tell me if I'm not picking up on energies and it's just my guilt or whatever.
Yeah.
Because whilst I've worked hard on that, that's still normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, just openness and you telling me exactly how it is for you, and it's okay. And
not being afraid that what I might say, I guess, might hurt you.
Yeah.
But it's needed in order to understand each other and grow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And it's not something, although it might hurt you, it's not intention to hurt you.
No, that's right. It's in order to better understand each other.
Yeah.
Are there any specific reassurance routines or gestures that you would find like helpful before or after, like reassuring you that I love you? And
well, I would come to you for that anyway. and you think it's silly when I ask that, but
Yeah, because I do love you.
yeah, I know. But at those little
I understand
times,
that,
I'm
of
having
course,
like
of
self-doubt or whatever.
Yeah.
But routines or gestures,
Do you want a bouquet of flowers every time
no.
Yeah.
In my head, it's just like that
Guilt?
cheating man
Yeah.
who brings the flowers home to the wife because he feels shit.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't something to be shameful about. This shouldn't have guilt or resentment or anything towards that. So there shouldn't be any bringing home flowers or bringing me home Luxor or whatever, you know?
Yeah, but if I'm in Flemington, then...
Well, if you're in Flemington, then maybe,
Yeah.
yeah. But otherwise, no, I don't want a bouquet of flowers. If anything, I would want us both to be just aware of when maybe we've spent some quality time together. And if it has been a little bit, like we're obviously, we live together, we do a podcast, so we are together a lot. But obviously, if you're dating somebody else, you might be with them a bit and then come back home and we sleep. I don't want us to feel like we're just housemates and then you're going off dating. I want us to, yeah.
Have quality time.
Correct.
Not just, like, intentional quality time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. That's doable.
Yeah.
I also want that.
I know you do.
Yeah.
But I guess, like, just both of us being mindful.
Yeah.
Like, I should also be like, hey, babe, we haven't really spent much quality time together. Can we, like, organise a date? But if I'm, like, being like, oh, she hasn't even fucking bothered to ask if I want to go on a date, like, maybe I might need you to be like, babe. And then I also feel like, okay, she's thinking about our relationship as well.
Yeah. I agree, and I think it has to be spoken sometimes. Like, I think in the beginning I used to expect you to just know what I wanted.
Our brains are so different.
Yes, our brains are very different. And I had to... I realised that sometimes you need to actually speak up.
Ask for what you want.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. Cool. How comfortable are you with having someone over? Are there any boundaries you want to set around where I meet others?
Initially,
Yeah.
if they to be here, I don't really want to be here.
Yeah.
And who knows, that might change. Yeah, I guess maybe go to their place.
Yeah, I totally agree. I would prefer to go to their place if that's possible. I don't think I'd want to host here in the beginning, especially as we're just figuring out what's the go.
Yeah.
Especially if you're here. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I just think that's like a bit more progressive from where we are.
Yeah.
Like a bit more down the track from where we are now.
That's like me knowing the person as well.
Yeah.
And kind of, yeah. Like, I think that's way down the track when you have like somebody serious. I guess it's not just someone you're fucking. Not that we all have to hang out, but just so that like you guys could be at the back having a drink and I'm in here or watching TV, like, you know,
or with us or whatever.
Yeah, or whatever. But I mean,
again,
like,
sorry, go.
We're amicable between each other.
Yeah, if we're going to do kitchen table or whatever.
Yeah,
and that would depend if you want to do that. You might not want to.
Yeah, but I won't know until we start progressing through this journey, and that also I might not want to do kitchen table with one person, but I might want to do that with somebody else. You know, like,
yeah, exactly.
It all depends on who the partner is.
That's very true. Good point. You kind of answered this, but would it make a difference if the person was a more serious versus a more casual connection?
I think it won't make a difference too much in that sense.
It's more about the person?
It's more about the person. Either way, like, initially it's going to be a bit awkward or whatever. I'm not sure. Every now and again I think, oh, would it be easier just to, like, be friends with this person as well, and like we're both like get along and, you know, have our different parts with you. And then every now and again goes like, would that make you more jealous though, being like, what does that person have that I don't have, like, kind of thing? Or does it make you like feel more compersion, being like, great, Soph's happy with the both of us, we're both giving you different aspects and just enjoying that?
Yeah, well, I think it is like, and I think that comes to transparency, right? Do you want to see how I interact with that person, or do you just want to hear?
Yeah,
you know,
that's a good point.
And do you trust that what I tell you
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like that's
Do I want to see it?
Yeah.
And just know that it's just a casual fuck every now and again or whatever?
Yeah.
Or is it more serious and I'm then seeing your relationship? Whew, yeah. I hadn't really thought of it like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so it can go either way, and I know, like, how I am.
Well, how would you? Would you want me to
see the interaction. I want to...
Yeah, but do you want me to see your interaction, or would, like, because you're also there, or for you, is it easier to kind of, like, keep your lives separately at the moment?
I think as I start this, I'd prefer to, obviously, well, I'll have to keep it separate first because, you know, and depending on what the other person wants as well. But I'd like to see how I go in that situation, because I'll always have you in the back of my mind. So I want to just see how I go and obviously try and figure out how I feel in those interactions. But yeah, I guess, you know, like when, you know, how I've slept with my friends and stuff, and I've explained to you, you thought, look, they're just like a really good friend, and then you've met them and you've seen that relationship that we have, and you're like, yeah, I get it. Obviously, if it's like a partner, it's going to be different. It'll be like, yeah, that's something. But sometimes seeing things can be helpful.
True.
You won't always get that opportunity if you don't want it, if I don't want it, if they don't want it.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. And I think we won't know that until everything develops further. But it's a good thing to kind of have in the back of your head, I guess.
Exactly. I know you're not 100% sure, but after a date, how would you like me to debrief? Is there anything more specific you can think of, or let you guide it?
Oh, I don't know, because I know myself in that situation. I'd probably be a little bit closed off. And I kind of know that I'll want to hear, but I'm also be like, I don't want to hear. I think you might need to run it a little, but just making sure, be like, do you want me to disclose this now? Or do you have any questions? Be a little bit transparent. Be like, I met here, we just had a few coffees. Do you want to know if we kissed or something? And they'll be like, no, or yeah, okay, yeah, we did have a little bit of a kiss. You know, kind of run it like maybe that way, being transparent, but allowing me to, when there is a bit of more of a further detail, being like, do you have the capacity to hear about this, or
do you want
to?
Or do we need to park it?
Yeah, or do we, actually a good one might be, do you want to go for a walk and talk?
Yeah, I agree, walking and talking.
So maybe it's not just in the house.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe there are different spaces where we can talk about it.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Is there anything you would rather not know?
Nah, there's nothing I would rather not know. Yeah. I would like, unless I go, I can't hear this just yet. Like, I don't need to know if you squirted or whatnot, or like how many times that you came or whatever. But I would want to know that you had sex.
Yep, I agree. I think that's important.
There are some details that you can keep to yourself.
Yeah, yes. Especially for sexual health reasons. I think it's important to say whether I did, and yeah. Okay. I guess if I'm sleeping with people, we would probably kiss. But are there any physical affection boundaries that you have? I mean, my body is my own, so let's make that clear. But
no, you can do whatever you want.
No, but you know, like some people don't like kissing and things like that.
No, I just assume that. Yeah, there's no, no, like, yeah, you're having sex, but like, that's just
the way it goes.
The way it goes, and especially like if there's like, I don't know, like I don't know if this is what you're after, like, but like if you're wanting more of to dominate or be more submissive and go into a BDSM kind of way, like as well, like things shouldn't be, I don't think there should be anything off limits.
Yeah.
But no, if you're having sex with someone, can imagine that you'll be kissing, you'll be sucking, things will be going in and out of different things.
Yeah.
And yeah, that will be obviously hard to hear, because then your imagination goes and be like, wonder if I do it better or worse, or
you're
just
very
different,
good at
and blah blah. You know, but like that's just what happens in your head.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah.
I think we do this because we have a podcast. But how would you feel about regular check-ins on boundaries and comfort levels? Is there anything that you think might change over time?
Oh, everything will change over time, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I just think that is natural. You either become like, things will happen and your boundaries might change. You might be more strict on a boundary, or like less strict, be like, oh, that doesn't even bother me anymore like it used to. It also probably depends on the partner that you will have, will also change, and how that dynamic changes. So I don't think anything's going to stay stagnant.
Absolutely.
Everything will be
Figure it out as we go. Continual
expand,
conversation.
and I think we, even if we didn't have a podcast, we do regular check-ins anyway. So you got to check in and make sure that you both are on the same page and are still wanting the same things, or are still wanting to be in the same relationship, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Self-care is really important for both of us in this situation, but especially for you. Is there anything that I can do to support you in your self-care?
Yeah, like I think I like cooking, so I think in a sense of self-care, like if I might want to make us both a nice dinner or something, you know, because I like getting immersed in all of that. Otherwise, like the other night when we did like that movie night and that skincare routine, I really liked doing that with you, and that was a nice connection, and we got to like have fun and touch and stuff like that. So maybe including both of ourselves in self-care, but then also listening to myself, and if I need to do solo care, then doing that.
Yep.
Catching up with friends,
Oh,
or
definitely.
going to the beach and just chilling out, listening to music and just chilling, or even going to a movie and watching a movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Those things I really like. Or having just a TV day and do nothing.
Yes.
I think that you should also indulge in your own self-care, given the fact that you'll be giving yourself to me, giving yourself to other people as well. So you need to make sure that you also have time for yourself.
Oh, definitely. And I think that once I get a routine back, I'll feel a little bit more comfortable in doing like extracurricular things. And there's a term like polysaturated, and you can be polysaturated at one partner sometimes as well, just because of circumstances or life or whatever. So you're still, you know, polyamorous, but you're just not
seeing multiple people at once. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right.
Gosh, go.
Right. So this is a very specific question related to someone that I was previously with and may be re-engaging with again for some fun, who you know about. He's mentioned that he would be willing to meet you if you wanted to alleviate some of the anxieties you might have around me catching up with him. Maybe it's a good way to kind of touch into non-monogamy with someone that I do know.
Yeah.
Would you like to meet? Would you like to meet him? And if so, where? Would you like it here or somewhere else? If you don't want to meet him, then obviously it's nowhere. He said he's open to meeting you, and
yeah, like when you told me that you got a message from him, it was very nice. It was very lovely. He sounds like a really nice person. I don't know if I really need to meet him, unless of course it gets a bit more serious, then maybe. But initially I don't think I need to meet whoever you might be just having fun with, and yeah.
Okay.
But I think it's a good idea to have fun and fuck somebody that you, I guess, have already had like a kind of a relationship with, in that sense, because you know that they'll be respectful of you, that you're going to be safe, and that kind of eases my mind as well, is that I'm like, okay, well, this person cares for you, and based on their messages as well, like sounds like a genuine person. So I don't have extra anxieties in being like, oh, fuck, I hope this person's looking after her. Is she safe and whatnot? So at least that's not in my mind. But yeah, I don't think I need to meet this person. Yeah, like I don't need to just yet.
Okay. You don't need to? You don't want to?
Oh, there's a difference between need and want, and I think in these situations it would be things that I need to do rather than wanting. Like I don't want to meet people that you're having a relationship with just yet.
Yeah.
That might change once I get to know the person and the relationship that you're having with this person or different people or whatever. But then I would feel that maybe the need to, because our lives might cross over, and especially if that person becomes more serious, or whoever becomes more serious in your life, I think it's kind of important for us to at least know who each other is, especially if something happens to you. Like, I'd want to then contact them if you're in hospital, say. I would expect that person to then call me, and I would then call them as well.
Definitely.
And that's, therefore, we kind of need to have some communication and know who the fuck is going to be turning up at the hospital. Like, I'd want to know who he looked like or what they looked like.
Yeah, that's right. We do talk about navigating emergencies and crises in non-monogamy in a previous episode, so check that one out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's fair enough. If you don't feel the need to, and if you don't see that it will be beneficial, that's totally fine as well.
Would you feel comfortable, or would you want me or need me to meet somebody that you're like, this person? Would that make you feel more comfortable being like, okay, they've met, like, or whatever? Or would that how would that make you feel?
I don't know, because I don't know how it would make you feel. I'm not fussed either way at this point in time, because it's just fun. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I haven't really thought about that question too much. I think I'd be very fucking... I feel like I'd be awkward, but I also said to him...
I think I would be awkward
Well,
too.
I also said to him, you're both very easygoing people, and I think you'd probably get along, so...
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to meet everyone that you might get along with, or...
Yeah.
I think you have heard enough about him and about my experience with him that you feel comfortable with me catching up with him, and...
Yeah.
As comfortable as he can be.
Yeah.
But
does he want to meet me before going into this, so that he doesn't feel awkward or feel like he's doing something, I guess, wrong?
I haven't really asked if he needs that.
Yeah.
But he said he was open to it, but I think
he was just being, like, respectful of me.
Yeah. And he was talking about boundaries, because him and I will need to talk about boundaries as well.
Yeah. I guess that would be the other thing. Like, if he felt like he needed to know that I knew what was going on, then maybe I might. But
well, he listens to the podcast, so I think hopefully he knows.
Yeah. But otherwise, I don't feel the need to meet unless it got more serious.
Sweet. Very good. So thank you, Brit, for being open and asserting some more of your boundaries, or answering some more questions, because I feel like I was answering a lot last time I did boundaries.
Yeah, but you've also answered some questions, I guess, that you didn't think you were needing to answer, or it kind of got your mind going as well.
It did. I'm really glad we've had this conversation. I think that's important, that you continue to have conversations about boundaries. Yeah,
exactly.
And especially as we do get closer to me actually doing the things.
As always, if you have liked what you heard, don't forget to follow us. You can follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify and iHeartRadio.
Thanks for listening and watching.
See you next time.
Thank you. Well, I don't have my period now, so I'm not so fucking scared.
Because you're going to ask photos. You're going to ask questions. You got stickers.
I got to a point where I had to kind of slow down. So, like, basically kind of warning me because I was watching way too much Bailey Sarian.
No, I can't watch this.
No.
I'm home by myself. I just can't.
Nah. Not even on my freaking period.
Hey, it's a sensitive topic.
I'm like... What were we watching the other day?
Oh, I don't know what we're watching, but that happened, I don't... Sliding Doors.
Thanks for asking.
You're welcome. I'm so hungry. We've got to eat after this. You're going to sleep with us, already.
This is a podcast about non-monogamy. Crazy. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Dialogues of Desire.
We hope you've enjoyed the conversation and maybe even learned something new.
If you loved what you heard or we've piqued your curiosity, make sure to follow us on Instagram, YouTube and TikTok.
We'll be sharing the latest and greatest content there, so you don't want to miss out.
And don't keep all this juicy goodness to yourself. Share our podcast with friends, family, or anyone you think might enjoy listening.
The more the merrier, right? Until next time, stay curious, stay open, and keep those conversations flowing. We acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we are recording, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. We pay our respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging.
We recognise their continuing connection to land, waters, and culture, and acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded. We extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. The views discussed in this podcast are our own and are evolving with our continuing experiences and ongoing knowledge.
This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and does not replace the advice of a health professional.